Sergeant, find out where Lord Leader is.
Morning, Floor.
The Soranim, Lord Leader. Where is it, Chief Clerk? The ninth day of the third special session of the 21st Congress will now come to order. May we all rise for a moment of silent prayer. Roll call, Chief Clerk.
Senator Aritos, Senator Christian, Senator Figuer, Senator Coolant, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Quinman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Nath, Senator Pollack,
Present.
Senator Perman,
Amen.
Senator Romulo, Senator Ursmal, Senator Wally, Speaker Semina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 13 members are present.
We have quorum to transact business this morning. Floor Leader Arbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning to you again, all honorable members, staff, as well as all those who are observing our session this morning, and especially my good friend, brother, Honorable Johnson Elimo. Good morning to you all. Mr. Speaker, I again move to dispense with the reading of the journal.
It's been moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of the journal. Those in favor say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, item 5, presidential communications. We're in receipt of numbers 21-158 through 21-160.
Okay, assign those, Chief Clerks. Take note, Chairman DCNI. Those are some important communications, the first and the second. Okay,
Short recess, please.
short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Item 6, Mrs. Speaker, FSM Supreme Court Communications. There are none.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
State your point, Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise again on a point of privilege to take this opportunity to introduce all these people who are listed in this list presented to me. And before I do that, I just want to inform all members and staff of Congress that today is Agina Joseph's birthday. So after we're done with the session, please kindly give her $1 each, please. So, Mr. Speaker, to begin with, please allow me to introduce, first of all, the Governor of Truk State, the Honorable Elimo Johnson. Johnson Elimo, please rise for recognition. And with him is also our Honorable Lieutenant Governor, Mark Milo. And I will ask that I will start giving out the other names, and after I'm done, then we just give them a collective round of recognition by giving them a round of applause. So please allow me to continue the introduction. I'm happy to introduce Chief of Staff, Leo Falcom Jr., Seni Philip, Acting Secretary Finance, Hubert Yamada, Acting Secretary DHSA, Scott Mori, DHSA, Mark Samo, DHSA, Rob Salmon, I think he's from finance, but he doesn't have a specific title here. Sos John, Budget Officer, Roger Murray, DCM, Tokyo Embassy, Elise Dulomi, I don't know, LCCSL, Keswick Madus, Assistant Chief of Staff, of, I think, State, Nakama Sana, Insurance Commissioner, Julian William, FSM PT, Charles Bravo, FSM PT, J.K. Kamiana, AG Office, Truk State, Anselmo Daniel, OTA Coordinator, Joe Ayas, TAS Public Affairs, Bradley Petrus, Truk PSC, Dr. Abram Ichin, CDHS, Daniel Ramot, no title, Akambo Nakashima, Mohamed Kutu, FSM DOJ, I'm sorry, Josephine Joseph, FSM DOJ, Jeffrey Tilvas, DOJ, Josephine L. James, DOJ, Krisky I'm sorry, I cannot really pronounce the last name, also from DOJ. And I guess this is the list from the executive branch in Palakir and some of our constituent here in Truk. So please give them a round of applause. And Speaker, if you would allow me to continue the introduction, and these students are from Saraman Truk Academy, and please allow me to read their names so they can be reflected on the journal, and I will also submit the list to our acting journal. I have here Jane Ashiske, teacher. Retius Nelson, a boy. Nathan Stephen, a girl. Deswila Rosako, a girl. Adrina Olap, female. Mary Artman, female. Rasmi Arthur, female. Perenci Joseph, female. Elsalin Simeon, female. Sean Welle, male. Josh Elimo, male. Mataichi Rachunap, male. AJ Toshio, male. Pitano Sora, male. Jasmine Kozam, girl. Aline Shumushi, girl. Jenny Takashi, girl. Graylin Lorenzo, a girl. Rindy Fiden, a female. Laninette Irons, female. Yu Fanny Dominic, male. Emmanuel Siba, male. Albert Francis, male. F.J. Nonan, male. Nemarin Siver, female. Tiara Falma Rubak, female. Debra Sonsi, female. Emmeline Stanley, male. Lily Jonas, female. Smiling Rapray, female. Deniana Fred, female. Brianna Olap, female. Jess Maria Robert, female. Margarita Sirius, female. Joanne Sonsi, female. Emily Onesom, female. Lastly, Memory Canis, female. Akinta Tereas, female. Urusain Milo, female. Matrifa Sigan, female. Bright Williander, female. Wayne Olap, principal. Let's give them a big round of applause, please.
Are you finished? So, floor leader?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's just submit it. Please allow me to continue the introduction. We have here
Okay.
Anna Akira, Mayor of Param Municipality. First female mayor, I believe, in the state.
Let's give
of
her a
Chile.
round of
Let's
applause,
give her a
please.
round of
That's-
applause. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my apology to all those names that I have mispronounced their first name or last name. Thank you.
Thank you, Floor Leader Harper. I know your colleagues from Truk are eager to also jump in, but I'll allow Senator Christian first. You have a point of privilege?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I do.
Yeah, proceed.
The students from Saramanchuk had come in earlier and had sang a song for all of us, and those three of us who were here have already done our traditional Chuk Tojap. So the rest of you, I'll tell you what the song is later, but please be nice to them also. I would also like to take this opportunity to explain a little bit that one of the members of Congress who has been absent for the past 10 days, people may not understand, or they probably do, but it's important to note that Senator Aritos has been ill and needed to be at home. And so his absence from Congress is excused absence. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, thank you, Senator Christian. Yes, it is already stated on the first day of our session, but it's good to note that also here that he is excused. It's an excused absence. Okay, Chairman Conman, are you studying your proposed amendments to public projects or names of your constituents?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Trying to look around in the gallery. I know I have a lot of constituents, and I might miss some of them. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I just like to kindly ask the body to please give all Southern Harmonious people who are observing our session this morning a collective round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Conman. See, you don't have to specify people, but just by that, they're very much appreciative. You're smiling at me, Chairman Romulo? You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you and esteemed members. Just point of information, the schools, the students from Saramanchuk Academy are here to observe this session. And also I would, on their behalf, I would also solicit from members, especially the Chuk delegation, they're in need of a school bus. So again, I would solicit from members if we could also help. Saramanchuk Academy is my alma mater, so I really wanna ask that we help them with the needed school bus. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I also beg the indulgence of this Congress to recognize some members from some citizens who are in the gallery this morning from Northwest observing our session, and I would ask that we give them a collective round of applause after I read their names. And I begin with the Chairman of R&D House of Senate, Senator Atanasio Hedibak, from the Public Department Safety, we have Samuel Bisalan, and also from the Chuk State Legislature, we have Roman Olubi. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Romulo. Chairman Cullen, you don't want to be outdone by Chairman Romulo, huh?
Thank
Okay.
you very much,
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker. For the statement just finished from my good Chairman on Jian Go, I know that we can also ask for the 500,000 that we gave it to Northwest or whatever, and then use some of that money, give it to a school for the bus. Mr. Speaker, for the recognition of my constituents from my district that I represent, I would like to say their names, and then after the names, we just give them the round of applause. Let me begin with our Governor of the Chuk State, Johnson Animo, Lieutenant Governor Mark Milo, Representative Junior Noma, Keswick Matus, Johnny Maypen, Roger Mori, Nakama Sana, Ansen Motanian, Alexander Narun, Dr. Apramichin, Johnny Risin, and Joyas. Those are my constituents. Please, let's give them a big round of applause.
Those are some potentials, I believe. Okay, any other point of privilege? Any other point of privilege? Senator Christian?
Mr. Speaker, it is my privilege to introduce some constituents of mine who are in the gallery observing this morning's proceedings. May I introduce the three, Mr. Yatilman, Mr. Chikial, and Mr. Victor Nayat. May I ask that we give them a round of applause?
Thank you, Chairman Ursumal. Senator Christian. I guess you wanted to preempt Chairman Ursumal from doing his own point of privilege. But
Mr.
I know he
Speaker,
still wants to.
The reason I did that is to show universality of our thinking in this Congress.
Exactly, yeah. You're absolutely correct. So, Chairman Roosevelt, still have anything to say? No?
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the good Senator Christian for introducing the three individuals who are in the gallery this morning. Mainly the three individuals who happen to be from the state of Yap. I guess we're used to not introducing anybody because our state is so far away and so expensive to come here or to Pohnpei for session. So we just take it for granted that we won't have anybody from our state. And since they have been introduced, Mr. Speaker, it gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce a constituent of all of us who had served the FSM for quite a long time. Someone that when I joined Congress, I was very fortunate to have been brought into Congress under his leadership and that of my colleague from Yap, Chairman Fugir. They taught me all the things that I do and are good in Congress. Those that are not in accordance with the rules and procedure of Congress, those are my own shortcomings. So, Mr. Speaker, gives me great honor to introduce for recognition a long time Speaker of the FSM Congress, the Honorable Jack Fritz.
Thank you, Chairman Roosevelt, for introducing one of the longest-serving members of Congress, and especially as a Speaker, Mr. Jack Fritz. Any point of privilege? On this side, I haven't heard from the right side. Okay, Senator Palik.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you and honorable members. And I join all the previous speakers to acknowledge the leaders from the state government, national government, and all the individuals and citizens that have been introduced. I would also especially like to thank our students from Saramanchuk. Thank you for observing our session. And as you see, we're pretending to work, and I'm glad that you have the opportunity to observe your Congress in session. Mr. Speaker, there are a couple individuals I would also like to introduce for the record. First is Mr. McDonald Ida. Is a assistant PIO of our Koshrai Delegation Office. I'll call these names and then we can give them a collective applause after that. The second individual that I would like to introduce is a very close friend of mine, Mr. Elwet Callan. And I also acknowledge this morning several members of the pre-constitutional convention that is being held in Juk. I want to also recognize all of you. And individual that we all know who takes care of our Social Security program, Mr. Alex Naroon. And last but not the least, a friend of mine, a fellow basketball player, an attorney, Mr. Johnny Maipin. May I ask that we give them a round of applause.
Okay, thank you, Senator Palik. Senator Wali, Chairman Wali, you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you and everyone in the gallery this morning. I have one person that I would like to introduce for recognition that is like you, like to drink Koshrai Shakao, and his name is Ray Rod. Please, thank you.
Well, I can assure you, it's not Mort Lucky's. It is from Chairman Berman's area. Okay, any other point of privilege? If none, now that we have that out of the way, I know there are some individuals who our members may have not introduced during this period of points of privilege, but I just want to take on behalf of the Congress, your Congress, our appreciation for your joining us this morning, and may we all just give them a round of applause. Chief Clerk, next item.
Mr. Speaker, item 7, member communications, when receipt of number 21-08.
Okay, take note of that report and sign it, the Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 8, Mr. Speaker, departmental communications, there are none.
Continue.
Item 9, agency or governmental authority communications, also none. Item 10, state communications, none. Item 11, state Supreme Court communications, none also. Item 12, municipal or town communications, also none, Mr. Speaker. And item 13, foreign government communications, none.
Order of the day. Item 14, standing committee reports. First report, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have standing committee report number 21-34 regarding CP number 21-95 from your Committee on R&D for adoption.
Okay, Chairman Net.
Thank you, Speaker. I so move for the adoption of the said report.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt standing committee report number 21-34 from R&D Committee. Okay, discussion.
Mr. Speaker.
Discussion on the report.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
The
Senator
subject of my discussion
Christian.
is on the subject of the report, not the report per se. I'm very happy to see that we are reacting to improvement recommendations to this particular organization. I wish that Congress would also review and put into action the same motivations to some of our boards and commissions who tend to keep sliding the dates of approval for applications or denial of applications, similar to this one here. For an investment group, maybe the health insurance group, who rarely respond within a given time. This, to me, Mr. Speaker, is a move in the right direction.
Okay, thank you, Senator Christian. Any further discussion on the report?
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Figueroa.
I'm having a second thought about this report, although I agree with Senator Christian. However, I don't think this report speaks to the real problem of what this program is facing at the moment. At times, it's hard to change the attitude of people, and I think we need not go this far. Had people been running the program internally, are doing their job. As you know, when we first received the bill from the president, someone just drafted a bill to get rid of it and dump everything upon Congress, to you, Mr. Speaker. I went ahead and introduced an alternative bill, but then later I found out that there's more problem that they're trying to take care of, solve, without being straightforward. And I hope that in the future, the people who run this program be forthright and deal with the people that are doing, and the president himself should take an aggressive stance on these kind of measures that benefit this country. I think we're starting to lose this kind of program if people who supposed to oversee the work of these people are not paying attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Fakir. That's true. All the boards have problems. Some we can solve them incrementally or gradually, but not everything at the same time with a measure. But we will continue to do our part, what we can do by way of legislation, and I think that's important. That's our responsibility. Senator Balik?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill has potentially a strong implication on the program if we don't act. My understanding on the issue is the failure of our board, insurance board, to react in a timely manner. And we have to figure out whether the problem is internal, that we need to either change or encourage our board. With 3-member boards on the insurance, we might even want to consider if we should increase it. But incompetence is one thing, which in the report, I think there's a clarification that has to be made there on the page 3. I'm troubled with the language. Your committee inquired what causes delay of making decisions. Is the board incompetent? And that's a very important, I wish to make that clarification that the representative from MRA, that's their language, that our board has not been able to deliver. And timely decision on those applications. I also think we need to be very careful on the implication on the power of the board. As I review it, there are two very critical, if this amendment is passed, there are two critical power that would be delegated to the insurance commissioner. One is the power to issue license to captive insurance and license to captive insurance manager. That's one where I think that the board should have a role in it, because the role of the board is very critical, very important. If we have just the insurance commissioner making this decision, what's the check and balance? And does he have the resources to make that sound decision on behalf of the government? The other power that I would have some reservation on is the power to review application of captive insurance by taking into consideration factors listed in section 103, which I went through it, and I think those are very significant. My point, Mr. Speaker, is that I think we need the board to provide that assistance to the commissioner, and it provides under this amendment also that that function could also be provided by the captive insurance consultants or other consultants. So I support, as Senator Christian stated, that perhaps we should also look at designation of board. And I'm not saying this in offense to the members of the insurance board. One question we asked, the committee asked, was, are these people busy? Is it their time availability that prevent them from making a timely decision? So to counter that, what we propose is to extend the timeline to maybe 30 days that would accommodate the insurance commissioner and the board to review and perform all these duties that are designated by law. So again, I agree, I support the sentiment that this is a very important program to the country, one of the main sources of our income. And at this time, I'm just trying to ascertain whether the problem is internally to fix our board and have the insurance commission fully understand their role and to facilitate the activities of the captive insurance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker,
Thank you, Senator Balik. Chairman Fakir, you have the floor again.
move for previous question.
It's been moved and seconded that debate be closed. If there is no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of adoption of Standing Committee Report number 21-34, say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. So said report is adopted. Next report, Chief Clerk.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Next item.
Item 15, special committee reports, there are none.
Next
Item 16, assignment of measures and communications. We have a referral sheet number 21-36.
Okay, Chairman and members, review that for your planning purposes. Next item.
Item 17, unfinished business, none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Item 18, that's bill calendar. First bill. Chief Clerk.
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Berman.
yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you, members, and all of those that are observing our session this morning. Mr. Speaker, I wish to withdraw CP 21-114 to our bill calendar for today. So move.
Again,
It's been moved and seconded that CP number 21-114 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for first reading action.
short recess, Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Do you
Mr.
have
Speaker,
any, motion, Chairman, Floor Leader Harper?
Speaker, I don't really read your mind, but I assume that you want me to make motion for suspension, so I move to suspend any irrelevant rule that may impede our action on the bill.
Yes. Just to be on the safe side, yes. I don't know whether we even have rules to suspend, but yes, so if there's no objection, the relevant rules are suspended at this point. We have a motion. Those in favor of the motion to withdraw and place CP number 21-114, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. CP number 21-114 is withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for first reading action. Okay, Senator Palik, you have the floor.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the blessing of the good chairman of Ways and Means, I move to withdraw CB number 21-113 and place it on the calendar for action for first
Second.
reading. So move.
It's been moved and seconded that CP number 21-113 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for first reading action. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. CP number 21-113 is withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for first reading action. Okay. Any other bill to withdraw? Please? If none, Chief Clerk, first bill.
Mr. Speaker, the first bill is CB number 21-86 for first reading. CB number 21-86 is a bill for an act to amend Section 3 of Public Law number 21-19 as amended by Public Law number 21-39, to authorize for the purpose of voting on the constitutional amendments, special polling places in Saipan, Hilo, Portland, Seattle, one city in Southern California, one city in Utah, Kansas City, one city in Texas, and one city in Arizona. To add that proposed amendments shall be first in the order of the ballots before the ballots of the candidates for office and for other purposes.
Chairman Romulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Motion to adopt the said bill.
Any second? It's been moved and seconded that CP number 21-86 be passed Congress on first reading. Discussion.
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Figueroa.
I believe the committee is supposed to do some further work on this bill, and I have not seen any of that work. I wonder if we need to rush this without those,
Chairman
further
Romulo,
work on it.
have you done your assignment?
Yes, like I said yesterday, I have received the information that is needed, and I'm ready to answer questions in regards to the needed informations for the said bill.
Well, as you know, Chairman Figueroa, all he wants is the money side, budget side. How much this going to cost us? There's a lot of polling places, but yes.
Yes, it's gonna cost less than $300,000.
Okay, there you
Each
have it.
special polling place, it's above 25,000.
Okay, Chairman Figueroa, there you have it. Any other discussion? Vice Speaker Moses, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to you, members, and those that are observing our gallery today. With all due respect to the proponent of the bill, it's a very hard one for me to swallow. And the reason is, one is the extra added cost. The other one is the added poll, because we do all get requests that a ballot box be placed in certain areas within the United States. I don't recognize most of the places on the bill that I have gotten requests from. So I was under the impression that maybe a lot of the Pohnpeian populace residing in the United States do not reside in these areas. And places like Cedar Rapids, Iowa, North and South Carolina, Georgia. And so the method on which all these places were chosen does not fit the requests that I have been getting. So it seems a bit weighted on other jurisdictions within the FSM where these polling places are. But my main concern is the cost, and it's more than $250,000, which I believe it's a big addition to our election budget as is already. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Short recess, subject to call of the chair.
And
Congress is back in session. Chairman Romulo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to defer action on the said bill to January session.
It's been moved and seconded that CP number 21-86 be deferred to the next session of Congress in January. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said bill 21-86 is deferred to the next session in January. Okay, next bill, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, the next bill is CB number 21-95, City 1, for first reading from your Committee on R&D. CP number 21-95, City 1. It's a bill for an act to further amend Title 37 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia as annotated, as amended by amending Section 103 thereof, as amended by Public Law Number 18-71, to provide that captive insurance licensing is under the authority of the Insurance Commissioner by enacting a new Section 1003A to provide that an application for captive insurance is deemed approved if the application is neither approved nor denied within 14 days of its receipt by the Commissioner, by amending Section 1008 thereof to provide that the payment of captive insurance company dividends is under the authority of the Insurance Commissioner and for other purposes.
Chairman Net.
Thank you, Speaker. I move for the passage of the said bill for first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass CP number 21-95 CD1 on first reading. Discussion. Any discussion?
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Net.
the bill is intended to authorize some authority of the board to the Insurance Commission so they can execute the application process efficiently and timely. These are management and executive authorities are being delegated to the commissioner, not policies. Policies are pressed with the board, and the check and balance can still come in when they manage to stay within the 30 days. So the purpose of this bill is to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of the Commission's review of the captive insurance. We have lost two potential captive insurance companies, and if we have the third one, this program we can kiss goodbye.
Thank you, Chairman Net. It's a highly competitive, scheme around the world, so we need to keep up with the competition. So this is something that's also needed to make our own process efficient. Okay, questions been called for? There is no objection, debate.
Short recess.
Short recess, subject to part of the chair. Congress is back in session. There is a motion to close debate. If there is no objection, debate is closed. It's first reading, so Chief Clerk, roll call.
Senator Ritos? Senator Christian? Senator Figuer? Senator Coland? Floor Leader Harper? Senator Conman? Vice Speaker Moses? Senator Nath? Senator Pollack?
Yes.
Senator Perman?
Amen.
Senator Romolo? Senator Ursmal? Oh, yeah, Senator Ursmal. Senator Welly? Speaker Simina?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 12 members voted in favor.
For that reason, CB number 21-95 CD1 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 21-114 for first reading. CP number 21-114, it's a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 21-43 as amended by Public Law number 21-54 by amending Section 6 thereof to change the allotment of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs for the people of Pohnpei State and for other purposes.
Chairman Figuer.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 21-114. Discussion. Any discussion? Questions being called for. If there's no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members. First reading.
Senator Ritos, Senator Christian, Senator Figuer, Senator Coland, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Nath, Senator Pollack, Senator Perman,
Amen.
Senator Romolo, Senator Ursmal, Senator Wally, Speaker Simina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 13 members voted for.
CB number 21-114 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, for first reading, we have CB number 21-113 for first reading. CB number 21-113 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 19-121 as amended by Public Laws numbers 19-130, 19-142, 19-145, 19-158, 20-9, 20-22, 20-51, 20-59, 20-70, 20-123, 20-162, 20-170, and 21-35 by amending sections 3 and 6 thereof to change the use and allotment of funds previously appropriated therein for the purpose of funding public projects and social programs for the people of the state of Kushai and for other purposes.
Chairman Figuer.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on first reading CP number 21-113. Discussion. Any discussion? Question is being called for. There's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of members on first reading.
Senator Aritos, Senator Christian, Senator Figuer, Senator Coland, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Nath, Senator Pollack, Senator Perman, Senator Romolo, Senator Ursmal, Senator Wally, Speaker Simona.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 13 members voted in favor.
For that reason, CP number 21-113 has passed Congress on first reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 21-103 for second reading. CP number 21-103, it's a bill for an act to amend Public Law number 20-95 as amended by Public Laws numbers 20-173 and 21-47 by amending Section 5 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs for the people of Chuk State and for other purposes.
Okay, John Figueroa.
So move.
Any second? It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading, CP number 21-103. Discussion.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still discussing CP number 21-103. Any discussion? Okay.
Mr. Speaker.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker.
Senator. Short recess, subject to call of the chair.
Defer the,
Congress is back in session. Senator Christian, you're recognized.
Mr. Speaker, there is a motion on the floor for the passage of a bill on second reading. I move that that bill be deferred to tomorrow's calendar.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that CP number 21-103 be deferred to tomorrow's bill calendar. Okay, those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Mr. Speaker,
CP number 21-103 is deferred to tomorrow's calendar.
Mr. Speaker,
You still have the floor.
thank
Senator
you very
Christian.
much, Mr. Speaker, and begging the pardon of the chairman of the various committees, I move that we defer all the bills on today's bill calendar for second reading to tomorrow's calendar.
And it's been moved and seconded that all the other bills on second and final reading, CP number 21-84, 21-106, 21-108, 21-109, 21-110, 21-111, and 21-112, that they be deferred to tomorrow's calendar. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Those bills are deferred to tomorrow's bill calendar for second reading action. Okay. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next item.
Mr. Speaker, item 19, resolution calendar.
First resolution.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
State your point, Florida Harbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on a point of privilege to ask permission if I can say just a few words before we go down to resolution calendar.
We are on resolution calendar, but you are granted privilege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and all honorable members. Actually, I have no important thing to share with us this morning. I just simply want to refresh our mind or remind us of what we had learned in high school. During my year in high school, the use of computer was not common and popular. The only thing we use is the typewriter. And when I first started to learn typing, there was this sentence that they instructed us to type. And that sentence or statement says, "Now is the time for all the good men to come to the aid of their country." And this sentence is never forgotten in my mind. And now the question here is, who are the good men? Who are the good men? I believe we are the members of Congress, the good men. It's proven by our constituents re-electing us all the time to this position to serve in the Congress because they believe in our goodnesses. And so I would like to ask Congress to show our goodnesses today to the public to really prove that we are the real good men of this nation. Our nation is asking our help at this time to kindly confirm the nominees so that they can be confirmed and go to do their job to make this country move forward. In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, I want to reiterate a statement of one of our former governors of Chuk, the late Honorable Erard Aden. I once said this statement of Honorable Aden in one of our congresses previously, and I would like to reiterate today. In Chuk, that time Ancito Walder was the governor. He decided to call for a statewide leadership. And in that leadership, Erat Aden was still alive, and he was given the chance to say something. He stood up and he made his remarks, and in that remarks, I never forget a provision of his remark or a statement in there where he said in Chukis, Mi fakun asew aneman muen epotungore pal eman muen metan mochen. I may not be able to correctly translate into English, but if I can try, I would translate it in this way. It is very shameful and embarrassing for a man to ask another man of anything he wants. I believe the nominees, the families, the supporters, and most especially our key staff at the executive branch in our national government are here to ask us to help confirm the nominees. And I know they're asking us with a little bit of embarrassment, shame, and even nervousness, because I know they're not sure whether we're going to honor their request or grant their request. And one thing I know for sure, if our key staff for our national government will go back without the nominees being confirmed, I know the president will tell them, you people just wasted money and time. But if they go back with all these nominees confirmed, I know president will be really happy. Even president came down last few days just to also beg us to confirm his nominations. So I therefore would like to also ask that we go ahead and confirm all these nominees. As Erat Aden said, it is shameful and embarrassing for a man to ask of another man what he wishes, but it's even more embarrassing and shameful for a requestee to turn down the request of the requester. So, as I said, again, the nominees, the supporters, key staff of national government, families are ashamed to ask us to confirm the nominees. But it will be more embarrassment and shamefulness on our part if we don't accept or pass the nominees at this time. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Floor Leader Harbour, for a very eloquent statement and meaningful one for the moment that we're at. I also recall there is another saying which says that it's even more desirable to have the women do the asking. So I don't know about you, whether any women have come to you and asked on behalf of brothers or sisters or cousins, or so but for me, none has come to me. Okay, Chief Clerk, first resolution.
Speaker.
Chairman Coolen.
If I may not out of order, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I would like to withdraw in place of the order of business for resolution number 21-83. So move.
Short recess subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Chairman Kulan, you still have the floor. Withdraw your motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw my motion.
Okay, if there's no objection, the motion made is withdrawn. So first resolution,
Mr. Speaker,
yes,
good morning.
Chairman.
I have a resolution to withdraw and place on today's resolution.
go ahead, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I make a motion to withdraw CR number 2182 and place it on today's agenda.
It's been moved and seconded that resolution number 82, 21-82 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Those in favor say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 21-82 has been withdrawn from committee and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Okay. First resolution.
Mr. Speaker, the first resolution is functional resolution number 21-76 for adoption. CR number 21-76 is a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Livingston A. Talang to serve as the Secretary of the Department of Health and Social Affairs of the Federated States of Micronesia.
Chairman Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So move for its adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-76. Discussion.
Speaker.
Chairman Berman.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, as we all read the report, as far as the qualification or the credentials of this individual or Dr. Livingston, it's not in question. My main concern right now is our Department of Health, the highest level of government, the outbreaks that has been going around our neighbor Pacific Islanders. In the Marshalls, we have the dengue fever outbreak. In Samoa or Fiji, that taken lives, and in Fiji, they suspended all or actually banned the graduation ceremonies of schools because of the outbreak of measles. So sooner or later, these maybe outbreaks, if we're not lucky, will be visiting our shorelines and our people will be affected. So I strongly believe that our office should be ready to function when all of these things. So I'm asking all members to please vote for Dr. Livingston to be in charge or Secretary of Health, so that office can be ready for any outbreaks, or not only that, the daily functions of the Department of Health. And the health is one of our main health, education, of course, infrastructure. But so I ask members to please support the nominee. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chairman Berman. We indeed need our Department of Health Service to be fully staffed and to be prepared for this dengue and measles outbreaks. Okay, is there no further? Senator Balik?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the record, I wish to make a brief comment here in support of this nominee. I thank the chairman of HSA for his support. It's been quite a while since we had a public hearing on this individual, and you recall the public hearing we had in Palagur, where all the mid-management, high-level management of this department showed and expressed their full support on this nominee. Also, a couple days ago in our gallery, we witnessed numbers of doctors from CHUK who came in and expressed their support and solidarity on this nominee. That speaks volume. Important point that I wish to raise also, which was brought up in the public hearing, is the attention to the states. Our people are in the state, 90% of our people are in the state, needs are in the states, our children, elderly. And it's important for this individual to have had spent some time in the States and understand the issues and problems at the state level, particularly in this area. So this is an individual who has been a doctor, has been a manager, and understands the issues at the state level. I also wish to share that in Koshai, Dr. Tauleng is also a pastor in the community, and that speaks volume of his character in the community. You remember the submission from President Banuelo on his nomination letter. He did mention Dr. Tauleng went to school at Eastern Oregon University, where he himself, President Banuelo, went to university, and of course, Chairman Romulo, myself included. So I think that's important. I see a good working relationship, a camaraderie between the president and nominee, and I think that's important in teamwork. So again, Mr. Speaker, I just want to state for the record our full support, Chairman Willie and I, and thank you, Chairman, also for your kind word. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Palik. Any further discussion? If
Question.
none, there is no objection.
Question.
You have any, Chairman Willing?
Thank you,
I'll give you the last.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good floor leader took the words out of my mouth this morning. I just want to say that Tauleng family in Kusha is a big family. So if
As
you
if we
want me
don't know.
back in Congress, please support this nominee. Thank you.
We do know that. Thank you very much for reminding us, or for it on behalf of the two of you. Okay, questions being called for. If there's no objection, discussion is closed on the resolution. It's a nomination resolution for Mr. Livingston A. Dowling, and as such, it will be by secret ballot. At least 10 votes are required. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk, announce the results.
Mr. Speaker, 10 members voted for the nominee, 3 against.
For that reason, the resolution number 21-76 has been adopted by Congress. Mr. Livingston A. Dowling is confirmed as the Secretary of the Department of Health and Social Affairs. Okay, next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have Functional Resolution number 21-81 for adoption. CR number 21-81 is a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Eugene Amor to serve as the Secretary of the Department of Finance and Administration of the Federated States of Micronesia.
Chairman Figueroa.
Move for the adoption of the resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-81. Discussion. Any discussion? Question's been called for. If there's no objection, debate is closed. Same, it's a nomination resolution, so we will vote by secret ballot. At least 10 votes are required for adoption. Okay, short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk, announce the results.
Mr. Speaker, 10 members voted in favor, 3 against.
For that reason, resolution number 21-81 is adopted by Congress, and as such, nomination of Mr. Eugene Amor is confirmed as Secretary of the Department of Finance and Administration. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have Functional Resolution number 21-51 for adoption from your Committee on External Affairs, CR number 21-51. It's a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Candy A. Eliezer to serve as the Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs of the Federated States of Micronesia.
Okay. Chairman Wally?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-51. Discussion?
Question.
Questions been called
Mr.
for?
Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, if I have sinned against you, please forgive me. Those three who have been absenting your good votes, those two absenting your good votes, please join us. No man is perfect, neither is a woman perfect. And I think we have told these nominees our disappointments, if there were disappointments to be said. So, thank you very much.
thank you, Senator Christian, for those words of support. Okay, any further discussion? There was a question, motion to close debate. If there is no objection, debate is closed. It is another nomination, so 10 votes are required and by secret ballot. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Chief Clerk, announce the results.
Mr. Speaker, 10 members voted for, 3 against.
For that reason, resolution number 21-51 for the confirmation of Mr. Candy A. Eleazar for Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs is adopted, is now confirmed as the Secretary. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have functional resolution number 21-78. This is a resolution to confirm the nomination of Mr. Marion Henry to serve as the Secretary of the Department of Resources and Development of the Federated States of Micronesia.
Okay, Chairman Ned.
So move, Mr. Speaker, for the adoption.
Been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 21-78. Discussion.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, Vice Speaker Moses?
thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the record, we have several more nominations left. I just wanted to ask that we continue the momentum that we have this morning. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Vice Speaker Moses. That's up to each of the chairmen. They will do when they want to, if they want to place them, so we can do them. Yeah. Okay. Any further discussion on the questions been called for? If there's no objection, debate is closed. So another nomination by secret ballot, at least 10 votes are required for confirmation. Okay? Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Announce the results, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, 8 members voted for, 5 against.
For that reason, the resolution number 21-78 is not adopted by Congress. The nomination of Mr. Henry is not confirmed by Congress. Next resolution.
So recess.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session.
Mr. Speaker,
Senator Christian first, and Vice Speaker Moses.
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move that we recess until tomorrow at 10.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress stand in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning.
Short recess.
Good recess.
Short recess
Speaker,
to call off the chair. Congress is back in session. Senator Christian, would you care to withdraw your motion?
I do, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
No, I don't care to withdraw. I do withdraw.
Okay. The motion to stand in recess until tomorrow has been withdrawn. There's no objection, so be it. Vice Speaker Moses, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the good senator from Pohnpei for withdrawing his motion. Today there will be a public hearing at 1:30 for one other nominee here in this chamber, and that will be the Foreign Affairs Committee. And so I just wanted to make that announcement before I make my motion. So I move that Congress stand in recess until 2:30 this afternoon.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that Congress stand in recess until 2:30 this afternoon. Those in favor say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until 2:30 this afternoon.